You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
I'm Kelsey Thorne. Here's a look at our news headlines. Workers at Sutter Health are threatening to walk off the job over working conditions and staffing shortages. Union members, including nursing assistants and respiratory therapists, voted late yesterday to authorize a strike without specifying a date. They accused the nonprofit healthcare provider of engaging in, quote, bad faith bargaining. But management says, quote, we remain committed to reaching a fair and sustainable agreement. The next meeting between the two sides is planned for Wednesday or Thursday. A San Francisco native is caught up in an international legal dispute in the Middle East. The Chronicle reports that 33-year-old Logan Hallersmith, who grew up in Noe Valley, is currently in prison in Israel after captaining a humanitarian boat bound for Gaza. Israeli forces intercepted a flotilla of 42 vessels in international waters this past week and detained nearly 500 activists. Logan's mother says he is a longtime volunteer and former AmeriCorps member and that he plans to fight for his release. A court hearing is expected on Tuesday. Kamala Harris is back in the Bay Area for a personal look back at her run for president as part of her book tour. The former vice president is holding two events today at the Masonic Auditorium in San Francisco. Her memoir, 107 Days, covers the highs and lows of her 2024 campaign and what comes next. Harris says she wants to share what she learned from her experiences. Each ticket includes a copy of the book. VIP meet and greets are also available for an extra fee. Harris has ruled out a run for governor next year, but has not closed the door on a second White House run in 2028. Now let's get a check of our first alert forecast with meteorologist Zoe Mintz.
Happy Sunday. It's going to be a Sunday fun day for those of you who want to get out and about, but I just want to let you all know if you want to head to the beach, there is still that government shutdown. And if any beaches you're planning on parking at were owned by any federal authority, like maybe Baker Beach or Crissy Field. Those were the two beaches I tried to head to yesterday, and the parking lots were closed. So you might want to bike there, Uber there, find a way to get there because parking lots and the parking situation at the beaches are going to be packed because it's going to be a gorgeous day. Tomorrow afternoon, plenty of sunshine, maybe a little finger of fog over our South Bay communities, but it's not going to stop you from getting out to the beach and enjoying yourself. Those high temperatures along the coast are going to be sitting in the upper 60s. And for this time of year, that is very normal. Areas by the Bay are going to be in the upper 70s. North Bay communities might even see a low 80s sprinkled in there, and then mid 80s across our inland East Bay communities and down into the Santa Clara Valley. A few degrees warmer today compared to what we felt yesterday, and that warming trend is only going to persist as those offshore winds begin to develop. Like I said, as that storm system skirts along the coast, it's going to change the direction of the winds, and that is going to be really important when it comes to ushering in drier and warmer weather. I really want to focus in on our North Bay communities. That 45-mile-an-hour gust that you see at Mount St. Helena doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's some of the strongest winds that we've seen in a while. And again, coming in from the offshore direction, it's ushering in much drier weather. And that drier weather is going to allow for warmer weather to continue through the early parts of next week. So look at our high temperatures by Monday afternoon. They're going to be a few degrees even warmer than what we felt today. They'll be sitting in the mid to potentially upper 80s across our inland East Bay communities and down into the Santa Clara Valley, low 80s to upper 70s for areas by the Bay and across our North Bay. And look at the coast, low 70s in Pacifica and down to Half Moon Bay. It is going to be some beautiful beach weather to kick off this upcoming week. But again, I hope you enjoy it because it's not going to last forever. If you want to head down to Monterey, maybe enjoy some beautiful weather, 70s, low 70s at that, from Monterey up to Santa Cruz. Overall, gorgeous conditions if you want to maybe get out and about this weekend. I highly suggest it because it is not going to last much longer than Tuesday. About a 10-degree temperature drop from Tuesday into Wednesday is expected all across the Bay Area, with those 80s inland turning into the 70s. That's well below average for this time of year. It's likely going to stay that way into next weekend. So next weekend's forecast is going to be looking a lot different than this weekend. So moral of the story is I want everybody to soak up the 80s, soak up this taste of summer while you can, because it's not nearly as hot as we felt 1 year ago. A year ago, we were in the triple digits across our inland areas. So 80s, hey, that's something that we can handle. That is nice. That is comfortable. And even along the coast, sunny skies and low 70s sticking around Monday and Tuesday. If you're waiting to plan a beach day, those are the days to do it. Because again, cloudier, Cooler and windier weather will arrive as soon as Wednesday. It's likely going to stay at or below average through the later parts of the week and into next weekend.
Bay Area drivers could be feeling the pain at the pump. Economists tell us gas prices are expected to rise in the days and weeks ahead, all because of an explosion 350 miles away. This massive fire broke out at a Chevron refinery Thursday, just a couple of miles from LAX. It is one of the largest refineries in the country. Now, no one was hurt, but whenever a major refinery goes offline, supplies drop and prices rise. Rideshare drivers told us they're bracing for impact on their wallets.
I'm retired, but I still work because I can't afford, to provide for my family the way all the prices, everything is going up.
Here's a look at the current gas prices here in the Bay Area, according to AAA. Energy experts tell us these prices will rise. The question is how much?
The main thing we're watching right now is to figure out how bad the damage is and how quickly this refinery can be brought back online.
An expert at Gas Buddy told us prices could jump as much as 95 cents a gallon. Would you be willing to pay a little more in taxes to help recovering drug addicts? There's a program in the South Bay that's dedicated to turning lives around, but now it's in danger of shutting down. That's because Santa Clara County is projecting to lose about $1 billion over the next few years because of federal Medicaid cuts. County leaders are trying to make up for that, but as Len Ramirez reports, voters will be the ones who ultimately decide.
If you just met Mia Jareggi today, you'd never guess the painful path she took to get here. She's now a county hospital social worker, helping others and serving the public with pride.
It's the best feeling in the world, Len. It really is. It's indescribable. I feel like I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do, like I'm fulfilling the purpose for my life.
But Mia's past life was full of hardship and survival. Born to drug-addicted parents, she says her childhood was filled with chaos and neglect.
Started experimenting when I was 15 years old, and from 15 to 35, I was full-blown active addiction.
1 year while serving time, she earned her GED, but her self-destructive cycle continued. Then, facing prison, a judge gave her a choice, hard time or rehab, through a nonprofit that helps people get clean called Pathway Society.
The day that I went, I was using up into the moment that I was on my way to treatment, and once I got there, it was like a relief. I didn't have to fight anymore.
All right, just have a seat right here.
Pathways provides a structure that Ruben, a Pathways counselor, says is key for the thousands of people it serves. Daily check-ins, group therapy, life skills training. 21-year-old Sergio, who just checked into a downtown group home, says without it, his future was grim.
Either in jail or dead.
But health-related programs like Pathways could soon be wiped out by looming federal budget cuts. 98% of the program's funding comes from Medicaid and Medi-Cal, but it's not the only program in danger. Santa Clara County, which administers and fills in funding gaps, is projecting cuts of more than $1 billion to programs like Pathways, plus its 4 public hospitals and 15 health clinics.
It is catastrophic on every front. From the number of layoffs that have to be made, the service lines that will have to be cut back. The residents, the patients of this home behind me will be on the streets.
To address the shortfall, the Board of Supervisors voted unanimously to support Measure A on the November ballot, which would raise the sales tax by 5/8 of a cent for 5 years. It's expected to bring $330 million a year to help pay for public health.
Vote no on Measure A.
But Measure A faces a vocal opposition from taxpayer groups led by people like Dan Stedging.
The timing's wrong for this tax. We've got record inflation and people can't put groceries on the table and gas in the car.
Supervisor Betty Young says there is no other way to keep the doors open for programs like they were when Mia went through.
I know the cost of living is challenging for many people, and that's why we structured the sales tax measure the way we did. Temporary, 5 years, 5/8 of a penny, and essential items are exempt from the sales tax measure increase.
After completing her own recovery, Mia got a job with Pathways, helping people like herself. Then came a bachelor's degree and later a master's in social work.
I actually was able to walk across the stage and get my master's degree and get hooded on my 13-year clean recovery milestone.
Mia seized the opportunity to get help, to get clean, and turn her life around. But now, with the future of rehab riding on the ballot box, she worries that people in the same position she was in may never get the chance.
Measure A has gotten the support of San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen, and other law enforcement officials, but some business groups oppose it. The measure will be on the special election ballot in November. Still ahead on CBS News Bay Area on this Sunday, the housing market appears to be on the rebound, but not everywhere. The Bay Area zip code where prices are dropping and homes aren't selling.
It's heavily condos in that area. Condos are really hard to sell, and so that is kind of more showing that kind of coolness in those areas.
Plus, when a driverless car breaks a traffic law, who gets ticketed? How authorities are adapting to the new normal of autonomous vehicles.
Happy Sunday. It's going to be another gorgeous day all across the Bay. Temperatures a degree or two warmer than yesterday, and it's only going to continue to warm up through Monday and Tuesday of this upcoming week as offshore winds will begin to develop. But you'll notice Wednesday, about a 10-degree temperature cool down as there's going to be a very quick change in wind direction. That is going to create those cooler temperatures, a bit more cloud coverage, but right now our models are leaning away from any rain chances. Still, expect cloudier and cooler conditions starting Wednesday and continuing through the later parts of this upcoming week. So I hope you enjoy the warm weather and sunshine while you can.
The housing market seems to be rebounding. A new report from the National Association of Realtors shows a 4% increase in home sales in August compared to the month before. Those realtors say that lower mortgage rates may have contributed to higher home sales. However, one zip code in Oakland is trending in the opposite direction. Homeowners in this area are seeing the values of their homes decrease. Data from Zillow shows they're down 30% since 2020. Our Kara St. Cyr talks to one homeowner who is having a tough time offloading his property.
William Louis Graybill's two-bedroom condo in Oakland was a dream buy.
A little space, a little kitchen.
But selling it has been much more difficult.
I've known that it was kind of a unique space and that I needed to wait for the right person to come along. A workshop makes up more than half the square footage.
The loft space has been on the market since the spring. Williams is offering a living space and a workshop across from the bedroom. But so far, it's been hard getting buyers, even after he shaved $45,000 off the asking price.
I could not have guessed that it would be the duration that it's been so far.
But Williams' space may not be the problem.
Janet, where are the maps?
Adam Newsom, a realtor at Red Oak, says many sellers in Oakland are facing a stale market, particularly near Williams zip code 94612.
So anywhere down in downtown Oakland area,
where, according to Zillow, values are down 30% since the start of the decade. Experts say the area suffers from a reputation of crime and empty storefronts, and whether warranted or not, has impacted the market, along with several other factors.
It's heavily condos in that area. Condos are really hard to sell, and so that is kind of more showing that kind of coolness in those areas.
But higher insurance and interest rates also play a role. The average interest rate for a 30-year mortgage recently rose to 6.3% after a month-long decline.
Sure, people kind of got used to the high interest rates.
Adam says it's unclear when the market will shift.
It's not a whole lot in here. It's just a little space to come and sit down in between living your life.
But William just hopes a breakthrough is around the corner.
According to Zillow, the average home value for properties in that zip code is about $558,000. That's down 11% from last year. Red light cameras are coming to San Jose. They're being installed at 4 high-traffic intersections across the city. That's at Lee Avenue and Parkmore Avenue, Monterey Road and Branham Lane, Keys Street and South 3rd Street, and South Bascom Avenue and Camden Avenue. Here's a look at those new cameras in action at Monterey Road. The city says drivers will receive a citation for failing to stop or rolling through a red light. The pilot program was approved back in 2022. Tuan Tu lives in San Jose and says the red light cameras give him peace of mind.
I'm less worried about my car getting T-boned. I'm less worried about getting rear-ended. I'm less worried about getting hit when I bike to work. I'm less worried about crossing the street and getting killed by somebody that's trying to make the light last second.
The San Jose Police Department says there have been 27 traffic deaths in the city this year. City officials say that's actually down 34% from last year. We're getting our first look at how San Francisco's new speed cameras are working. Since the city started issuing fines, 56 cameras went up in the spring, but tickets only started going out in August. The SFMTA released new numbers from the month of August that showed the speed cameras issued citations to more than 16,000 drivers. If paid in full, those fines add up to more than $1 million. The city says the cameras have caused a huge shift in driver behavior already. We heard from one San Francisco driver in the Crocker Amazon neighborhood who admits she's been caught by the cameras.
We notice the speed cameras because we get notices at our houses that we've been warned. And then once you know where the camera is, I do feel like there's a change in speed.
City officials say they'll keep tracking the data closely, and if this trend holds, cameras could change locations to fix other hotspot areas in the future. Well, in this day and age, driverless cars, here's something to think about. If one of them breaks the traffic law, who gets the ticket? Police in San Bruno had to deal with that when they say a Waymo made an illegal U-turn. Driverless cars like these seem to be everywhere these days. And as Chris Van Cleve reports, they're still working out some of those kinks.
Waymo just drove around the school bus.
Cell phone video catches an autonomous Waymo passing a school bus stopped with its red lights flashing in the Atlanta area Monday, a move that could land a human driver there a $1,000 ticket. It's the latest in a series of Waymo incidents that have gone viral. Over the weekend, San Bruno, California police pulled over one after it made an illegal U-turn.
Right now, California police would typically cite a driver, not a vehicle. And they don't necessarily have a mechanism to cite a car that has no driver. But the state is changing the law. Next year, these driverless cars will be able to get tickets just like people.
Waymo, owned by Google's parent Alphabet, offers driverless rides in 5 cities with plans to expand.
So we're getting on the freeway.
Yep. Last year, we got an exclusive look as Waymo was testing on Arizona freeways.
It's really about never making a mistake, driving defensively, and predicting things that can go wrong.
Is that the bar, never making a mistake?
So the bar is to make as few mistakes as possible.
The company argues its own safety data shows 91% fewer serious injury crashes and 92% fewer crashes injuring a pedestrian compared to a human driver, but acknowledges the vehicles are still learning, saying we continuously refine our system's performance to navigate complex scenarios.
Are the self-driving cars being held to a higher standard?
I think they need to be held to a higher standard.
Former NTSB Chair Robert Sumwalt.
Before we have widespread use of self-driving vehicles, we've got to make sure that they are implemented properly.
Waymo says it's looking into the Atlanta incident, and if its vehicle is ticketed, they will address it as any driver would.
Police in San Bruno say after they pulled over the Waymo, they contacted the company and confirmed it was a glitch. No ticket was issued since there was no driver. Still ahead, a small Bay Area town getting a big reputation as a hotspot for visitors.
Napa had this world recognition, but we kind of just kept ours under the radar for a while.
We'll meet the restaurateurs making Healdsburg a worldwide culinary destination.
It's been absolutely gorgeous weather this weekend. I hope you all have gotten out and about and enjoyed some sunshine and some warmer weather, because last week it was well below average and a lot wetter than normal as the storm system, this is the one that impacted us just over the past several days. It has quickly departed, making its way across the northern part of the country. And taking a look at what we saw overnight across California, quiet, clear, just a little bit of fog that's developing along our coastal communities. We aren't expecting all too much additional fog to develop as we step out over the next several days. What we are going to be seeing is offshore winds developing as a very weak storm system is going to slide down the west coast of the United States. It's also going to switch up those wind directions. And as many of you know, Offshore winds bring warmer and drier weather that's going to stick around all the way through Tuesday. That's going to keep those temperatures well above average. However, by Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday, there's going to be a swirling area of low pressure that's sitting just off the coast. That's going to bring us cooler and cloudier conditions. I'll break down exactly what you can expect this upcoming week coming up in my full forecast.
From the Golden Gate Bridge to Fisherman's Wharf, Muir Woods, and the Painted Ladies, there is no shortage of tourist attractions here in the Bay Area. But now a town in wine country is earning a slice of that spotlight. Healdsburg in Sonoma County is growing its reputation as a restaurant destination. It has been nationally recognized for its culinary scene and small-town charm. Businesses will get another boost when a SMART train expands to Healdsburg by late 2028. Our Itai Hod spent the day there to see how businesses and locals are dealing with the newfound attention.
An hour north of San Francisco, in the heart of Sonoma County, is a small town where the wine flows, the tables stay full, and change is in the air. Healdsburg, once a sleepy agricultural village, is now buzzing. Melissa McGay and her husband Sean are the owners of Troubadour, a small bakery and bistro where the line just keeps going. Their sandwiches are so good, they even earned a spot on the Michelin Guide's recommendation list.
Obviously, we have the ambitions to earn a star, but we're very grateful to just be recognized.
In the last 2 years, Healdsburg has seen more than 20 new restaurants, shops, and cafes open their doors, adding to a growing list of high-end spots that have made this place a world-renowned culinary destination.
At one point, we had the most Michelin stars per capita.
Talia Hart, the CEO of the local Chamber of Commerce, says the city realized it had all the ingredients of a tourism mecca, but it was overshadowed by their more famous neighbor.
Napa had this world recognition, but we kind of just kept ours under the radar for a while.
Not anymore. Recently, the city has embarked on a new strategy, promoting Healdsburg as a hidden gem, a move that brought in $29 million over the last 3 years. And visitors like Isabel Libby and her husband Eric are taking notice.
It's adorable. Yeah, it's very cute.
And it's not just Healdsburg. In 2024 alone, visitors to Sonoma County spent $1.5 billion, up nearly 6% from the year before. And if you want to see that success in action, just head to one of the 85 wineries in town. Peter Oakes manages a tasting room at Baca Wines. He says business is blooming.
We jokingly say, like, everyone from Napa goes on vacation to Sonoma.
But not everyone is smiling about the crowds. Carol Bernheim, who grew up just outside town, says the sidewalks look a little different these days.
You knew everybody you walked past, and now you don't see the locals as much anymore.
As tourism climbs, so do prices. Over the past decade, Healdsburg's median home value has soared nearly 66% to around $1 million today. To try and stop the tide, the city banned big chain stores from its downtown area and is investing in affordable housing. As for Melissa and Sean, they hope to get an upgrade from Michelin someday as they help uncork Healdsburg's new identity with sandwiches fit for a star.
Oh, wow.
Fine dining restaurant Single Thread in Healdsburg was just ranked number 8 on the prestigious World's Best 50 Restaurants list. Still ahead in our next half hour on CBS News Bay Area. Is downtown San Francisco actually on the rebound? We speak with the mayor to hear what he thinks is working and the areas that still need an overhaul. Plus, non-stick cookware could be banned over potentially toxic chemicals. Details on the bill on Governor Newsom's desk and how celebrity chefs are stirring up a fight.
I feel like chefs should have the choice to use the tools they want in their kitchen, not be told what tools we need to use.
Your community, your news, powered by KPIX. CBS News Bay Area. Watch anywhere, anytime. Stay informed and connected. Trusted local news when you want it. CBS News Bay Area. Watch free on any device. You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Kelsey Thorad. Here's a look at our news headlines. Tensions appear to be rising at Sutter Health. Workers say staffing shortages and stalled negotiations are pushing them toward a possible strike. Late yesterday, union members, including nursing assistants and respiratory therapists, voted to authorize a walkout. There is no strike date yet, and both sides plan to return to the table midweek. A San Francisco native sits in an Israeli prison after captaining a humanitarian boat headed for Gaza and intercepted by Israel. 33-year-old Logan Hollersmith's family says he plans to fight for his release. A court hearing is set for Tuesday. Kamala Harris returns to San Francisco to talk about her new memoir, 107 Days. She'll host 2 events at the Masonic Auditorium, sharing lessons from her 2024 presidential campaign and her time as vice president. Each ticket includes a copy of her book. Harris has ruled out a run for governor next year, but has not closed the door on a second White House run in 2028. San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie and Assembly member Matt Haney led a walk through Union Square Friday to talk downtown recovery progress and challenges. Our Max Darrow was given exclusive access to join them on that walk and learn more about what's working and what needs improvement.
Okay. Yeah, so that's great. Nintendo's been great.
As they walked through Union Square, Mayor Daniel Lurie and Assemblymember Matt Haney celebrated the wins when it comes to bringing the area back to life and looked for progress reports on next steps from business, economic, and community benefit district leaders.
What's the plan for the other?
Many of whom joined them for the walk, as well as several supervisors. Haney is on a statewide tour of downtowns trying to figure out how they can best recover post-pandemic. Lurie just recently announced his Heart of the City initiative, a multi-pronged approach to revitalizing downtown with the help of private funding.
San Francisco's on the rise. There's more people leasing space than leaving space for the first time in 6 or 7 years. Crime is down 40% in this part of San Francisco, in downtown.
But there are still a lot of empty storefronts. A Cushman Wakefield report reveals the Q2 retail vacancy rate in Union Square was 23%.
One of the spots in particular is Powell Street. As we look right here, vacancy, 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 vacancy. Yep. I know this particular corridor is one you're hoping to change. How is that going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to happen by being relentless and by winning companies and retailers back to San Francisco, which is what we're doing.
Lurie points towards bigger businesses opening up, like Zara, and smaller ones, like Dandelion Chocolate, which opened a Union Square location on Friday.
2, 1.
Haney says downtown recovery in San Francisco and elsewhere does hinge upon the city and state eliminating red tape that disincentivizes businesses.
We shouldn't be getting in our own way by making things more expensive and more time consuming. Everything needs to be about speed and flexibility at a time when we're experiencing these challenges.
And he argues that's happening.
We're doing our part, changing our laws around CEQA, making sure there's a by right ability to do adaptive reuse, to change office space to housing. And the city is doing their part as well. And businesses are feeling it, and you're already starting to see the difference.
There is a challenge, however, that cannot be quantified.
Making sure that the perception meets the reality.
I am as frustrated as anybody about some of the street conditions that we have in different parts of downtown. We have to do better.
So you talk about it's not acceptable and we need to do better, but how? How do we actually do better?
First, it starts with public safety. So we have to recruit more police officers. We have a net increase in SFPD for the first time in 7 years. We have a net increase in sheriff's deputies for the first time in 10 years.
From their standpoints, the downtown prognosis is good.
We have work to do, but we are moving in the right direction.
And momentum will continue with the city and state working in tandem.
Next month, through the Vacant and Vibrant program, the intersection of art and technology will open its event space nonprofit headquarters on Powell Street. That will mark the 5th Union Square pop-up to fill a vacant storefront this year and the 33rd pop-up citywide. California colleges could get caught in the middle of a feud between Governor Newsom and President Trump. The governor is threatening to withhold funding for any university that agrees to Trump's political priorities. The White House sent a letter to 9 of the country's major universities, including USC. It seeks to compel them to adopt the administration's policies in areas including admissions, women's sports, gender identity, and free speech, in exchange for preferential access to federal funding. Governor Newsom responded saying, quote, any California university that signs this radical agreement will lose billions in state funding instantly. So far, USC is the only California university to get the letter. Administrators say they are still reviewing it. There is a bill on the Governor Newsom's desk to ban forever chemicals from kitchen tools, but some celebrity chefs are stirring up a fight. The bill aims to get rid of certain chemicals, including Teflon used in nonstick pots and pans. Studies have shown they can cause adverse health effects like cancer and reproductive issues. But the potential ban on nonstick cookware has the restaurant industry up in arms. Brad Hamilton has more on the debate.
For Chef Brian Hoagland, the kitchen is more than just a workplace. It's the space where he feels most at home. But now, he worries that some of the tools that he's relied on for years could be taken away.
Part of my opinion is I feel like chefs should have the choice to use the tools they want in the kitchen, not be told what tools we need to use.
And that fear stems from a law now sitting on Governor Gavin Newsom's desk. Senate Bill 682 would ban the sale of nonstick cookware and other kitchen products made with a group of chemicals called PFAS, commonly referred to as the forever chemical. Arlene Bloom, an environmental health scientist at UC Berkeley, has spent years tracking their impact.
These chemicals never break down, ever. And all the ones that have been studied are known to be harmful. So you only want to use a chemical like that if there's no substitute.
The author of the bill, State Senator Ben Allen of LA County, says the initial legislation aimed to eliminate any product made with PFAS. But to get a deal done, they started with several categories that have been phased out elsewhere, including nonstick cookware.
Every single product that we're looking to phase out in our bill has already been successfully phased out in at least one other state in the country, in many cases, many other states.
The bill is drawing high-profile supporters, including actor Mark Ruffalo, who played a lawyer facing off against a PFAS manufacturer in the film Dark Waters. And then there are against critics, like celebrity chefs Rachel Ray and Thomas Keller, who argue that the ban goes too far. Steve Burns, the president of the Cookware Alliance, believes the industry he represents has been unfairly targeted, and he also pushes back on the claim that nonstick is proven to be unsafe.
Completely safe. And as a matter of fact, the United States Food and Drug Administration has specifically authorized fluoropolymers to be used in the preparation of food.
So what's in a pan has turned into a bigger fight. On one side, health and safety. On the other, cost and convenience. But for chefs like Brian, the debate feels like it's happening far away, but the impact could land right here in his kitchen.
We'll abide by the laws, of course. We'll maneuver which direction we need to make things work around here. That's what we do, you know.
Now, there's no need to throw out your nonstick pans. This bill is targeting the production of the cookware itself with a compliance deadline that wouldn't take effect until around 2030. Up next, meet the tattoo artist behind this new San Francisco photo exhibit as his full body of work is now on display. Plus,
the South Bay thrift shop that generated $200,000 in scholarships last year for women. That story coming up.
A brand new photo exhibit featuring the art of tattoos is on display at the San Francisco Main Library. It features the work of San Jose artist Taki Kitamura, who is best known for shining a light on traditional Japanese woodblock prints. If his story sounds familiar, we featured him back in May when dozens of his clients gathered for a photo shoot in San Jose. And now, as Ryan Yamamoto shows us, that body of work is ready for you to see.
What if you could stare?
Kind of at a loss for words, to be honest.
At your legacy.
Get really emotional seeing this. It brings back a lot of memories.
All those memories gathered together in a single moment, and then frozen in time for everyone to see and study.
At the end of the day, I think I'm really grateful that I have all these people that took this journey with me and put in the hard work to get these tattoos done and let me do it.
For nearly 3 decades.
I started tattooing in 1998, so almost 30 years now.
Taki Kitamura has given his life to an art whose body of work is now part of an exhibition at the San Francisco Main Library called Living Tattoo Traditions, American Irizumi and Beyond.
I gotta say, I never thought I'd be looking at my work and colleagues' works of mine in the San Francisco Public Library. You know, we've always seen it as art, and not necessarily that we needed the validation, but it's really nice to see that I think that outside the larger society as a whole is really appreciating tattoo art. And I think this exhibition in particular appreciates the cultural significance that not just art, but also culture is something that carries culture, passes stories down, and celebrates.
All right, everyone turn around, please.
We were there last December for the exhibition photo shoot.
Test fire.
As dozens of his clients gathered in San Jose to model the work of Kitamura's Japanese woodblock style of tattooing, a style that still carries a stigma in Japan.
Yeah, the Japanese tattoo really isn't accepted in Japan. It's getting better over time, but I think they've had a very troublesome history. Tattoos were used by the government to mark criminals, so right away there's a stigma. And as much as we love the Yakuza cinema, you know, I think like Yakuza movies really played up that everyone tattooed was part of a criminal organization. But that said, I mean, you know, we have ex-deputy director of the U.S. Marshals. There are 3 or 4 active law enforcement in there, a handful of retired law enforcement as well. I think especially with Japanese tattooing, a lot of people that identify with the warrior ethos, the samurai ethos of gaman, of persevering. But it really applies to a lot of people. I think a lot of people gravitate toward this style.
Allison Witkoff, who works as the director of exhibitions for the library, says the photos not only tell Taki's story, but will take people on both a cultural and historic journey.
I hope they come away with an understanding of tattooing as a way of storytelling, as a conduit of cultural heritage, and as the tattooed body as an archive and memory keeper.
Those memories form between the artist and person who wears their art, and for fellow artist and Taki's wife, Molly. She says they wanted to show that tattooing is truly a partnership.
The client is everything. It's their body, it's their choice, and they're wearing the tattoo for their lifetime.
We're not putting us on an elevated level over the client. Rather, the two of us together can create something very special, and in this case, hopefully carry on culture and celebrate it.
A celebration of art through needle and ink, images now on display, shining a light on a true body of work.
You can check out the tattoo photo exhibit at the San Francisco Main Library through next March. Coming up, a unique thrift shop providing women with critical support, how the owner is helping them pursue their educational dreams.
We make a difference for the world. It's just an extra added sense of reassurance that they believe in me.
High tuition keeps more women than men from enrolling in college. A Gallup survey shows that finances are a barrier for 2/3 of women. That's compared to less than half of men. But a South Bay woman found a creative way to bridge the gap. Our Sharon Chin introduces us to this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award winner.
When you shop at the nearly new thrift store in Sunnyvale, Lois Christopherson says you're doing something good.
We make a difference for the world. Every year we have a Christmas boutique.
For years, sales at the 67-year-old shop supported a retirement home for a women's nonprofit called Philanthropic Educational Organization, or PEO for short. But when the PEO home closed in 2006, Lois came up with the idea to use the shop's profits to help women go to college.
I realized with as much money as we were making,
and as much joy as people experienced working at the shop, that a scholarship program was ideal.
Ideal because since PEO was founded in Iowa in 1869, its mission has been to educate and celebrate women. So for almost 2 decades, the nearly new shop has been a source of pride for local PEO volunteers and a staff member who run the store. In the last year alone, the shop generated $200,000 in scholarships for 30 young women in San Mateo and Santa Clara counties.
Oh, here are the blue stickers.
Lois has volunteered with the scholarship program for 18 years. She can't put a price tag on its impact.
You are so delighted by the quality of women that you're dealing with.
Lois's own experiences inspire. With 2 graduate degrees in clinical social work and business, Lois screened and counseled patients in the late 1960s for Stanford's pioneering heart transplant team. As a mentor, she motivates the next generation.
You can do even more than you originally think. Keep working on it. Don't be discouraged.
Hi, Lois.
Lois encouraged Julie Town, who received multiple PEO scholarships as she earned her bachelor's degree at Sonoma State University, then her master's at San Jose State.
It's just an extra added sense of reassurance that they believe in me and, I feel loved.
What a difference the nearly new shop scholarships make.
Yes.
Today, Julie is an occupational therapist, grateful to PEO and Lois for fueling her dreams. Julie even became a 3rd-generation PEO member.
Lois is one of a kind. She is so vivacious, she is so friendly, and she is so determined. She's determined to help others.
Lois leaves her mark in empowering women, according to store manager Teresa London.
In a world where, women are told, just kind of sit back and kind of fade away, this whole purpose, and Lois is so inspiring to show women that they can have a purpose all through their life.
And I let you carry your shoes.
So for helping women pay for college through profits from the nearly new shop, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award goes to Lois Christofferson.
PEO is an international nonprofit based in Iowa and in all 50 states. The application window for a variety of scholarships is open until January, and Nearly New does accept donations of new or almost new items. You can nominate a community hero for a CBS News Bay Area Icon Award at kpix.com/icon. Thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Kelsey Thorud. We will be right back with your first alert forecast and today's top stories.